Welcome back to my walkthrough for Resident Evil Remastered, my friends. I'm playing this walkthrough on hard difficulty, it's a no damage walkthrough, and in the previous section we completely cleared out the mansion. There's nothing left to do here. So we're going to head to the caves to obtain the last item that we need in order to access the laboratory. So we have to go back to the courtyard for starters. And we'll have to insert the battery in the elevator so that we can reach the caves. Otherwise it's pointless to do this. So remember to take both the battery and the crank with you, otherwise you'll have to go back and you don't want that, of course. We're leaving Rebecca alone on the mansion by herself, or at least that's what Chris decided was the best option. I'm still surprised that Chris really thinks that it's a good idea to leave an unarmed girl by herself in the mansion alone, and especially considering I didn't really kill that many enemies in the mansion. Rebecca isn't in a very good situation, but oh well. It is what it is, and we can't, there's not an option for us to take her with us, so we just gotta do this on our own. So we're going to start by heading down, and we're going to insert the battery so that we can use the elevator. I killed both dogs in this area after I left the residence, that's why there aren't any dogs here, but if you didn't kill them yet, remember that there will be 2 dogs here. And as we head back upstairs, there's going to be 3 dogs waiting for us, but I'm going to dodge them since it's not that hard. You see, they always take a little bit before they even try and attack Chris. In fact, sometimes they might just growl and bark and don't even attack. Yes, most of the times they will run after you, but more often than not, you will be able to dodge them. Feel free to use your shotgun if you feel more comfortable shooting them, but it's really not necessary. Plus, after this part we won't be coming back to the courtyard, so there's really no point in killing the dogs, since we don't have to worry about them anymore. In fact, I believe this is the last time that we encounter dogs in the walkthrough. Yep. We won't encounter any more dogs, so let's just dodge this one. As you can see, it's not that hard, and we can easily pass that other one because he growls for a little bit before he can actually attack Chris, so you have more than enough time to just pass him and dodge him. In fact, more often than not with Resident Evil, I think that sometimes it's small indecisions, you know, if you're not feeling too confident, you don't run ahead with confidence, and that's why you end up being caught, because most of the times whenever you enter a room there's a small margin of time before an enemy can actually attack you, so you have plenty of time to move across the room and move to the next area before the enemies really even have time to do anything. So we're going to start by obtaining the X crank. There's a handgun clip or a handgun magazine over there, but I don't need it, so I'm not going to bother picking it up. And now let's keep going.
Enrico!
Don't come any closer, Chris.
What happened?
Double crosser.
Enrico, wait! Enrico!
Umbrella.
Enrico! Double crosser?
I never quite understood why Enrico thinks that Chris is the traitor. I mean, there's really no evidence that would support it, in my opinion. There's a lot more suspicious people who I'd consider the possible traitors, and we can dodge this center, so don't even bother fighting it because you won't be coming back to this room. I'd hate to imagine what the hunter's going to do to Enrico's body though, probably cut it into little pieces most likely. But like I said, I really don't understand why Enrico thinks Chris is the culprit. And plus it seemed like Enrico was about to shoot Chris, which is not a very wise move. Prepare your shotgun here and you can shoot these two hunters before they have enough time to get close to you, even with a shotgun. However, if you want to make sure that they really don't get close to you, then you can use the Magnum instead. But I advise that you save up your Magnum ammunition. So I feel that you should use your shotgun, and more often than not you have enough time to shoot the hunters before they can get too close to you. We don't need the standard crank, so let's dispose of it. We also don't need these ink ribbons. And I'm just going to take the Magnum with me because I will use it, but I don't need the shotgun, so I'm going to store it for now. Keep the hex crank with you because we are going to use it 3 more times. And now let's use it here. And by using it here we gain access to another area of the mines, or the caves, whatever you want to call them. And now pick up the flamethrower, we will need it in order to access another area. And look at this, a boulder. Well, no problem, right? Chris can just punch it. Nope. Nope, you better run. He's not quite able to punch boulders at this moment. He will later in life, but not right now. Here it comes. The Black Tiger. So the Black Tiger is actually really easy to defeat with Chris. 4 Magnum shots to it in. Just make sure you run around it. The Black Tiger is slower than you, so it will take it a little bit of time before it can position itself perfectly. Make sure you don't fire the last shot when you're close to its butt, because it will explode and throw acid over you. It's kind of like a desperation attack once you deliver the final shot, so you don't want to get injured when you're so close to beating it, so do be careful about that. And once again, magically, as you leave this area, as you enter back into this area, then the Black Tiger disappears. I don't know how it managed to disappear so fast, but that's just the way that it works out in the game. As soon as you re-enter the room, the Black Tiger will be gone, and the smaller spiders that are walking around the ceiling also disappear. So that's why I stepped out and back inside, was to make sure that the other spiders in the room also disappeared. So now we're going to use the crank once again. And we need to use the crank here 3 times before we can move on ahead and dodge the boulder. I see the way that boulder is looking at Chris. He's like, I dare you to punch me. In this Resident Evil, Chris would end up with a broken hand and crushed to bits, so unfortunately we can't quite break the boulder with a punch. Even if he took steroids and he dedicated himself to bodybuilding, it's crazy to think that anyone would be able to do that to a boulder, but oh well. Resident Evil 5. really changed the way Chris is represented. And for those of you who might not know, it's not like Chris started getting big from 1998 up until 2010, I think. Is it in 2005? 2005 is when the scenario where Jill and Chris meet up with Wesker again happened. Chris got all bulked up between 2003 and 2005. You see, in 2003 there's a mission in Umbrella Chronicles where you can play as Chris and Jill, and Chris kind of looks precisely the same way that he looked here in the Resident Evil Remastered in 1998. So really it took him 2 years to go from this to, well, become a gorilla essentially. So as we step out, we're going to go all the way back to the area with the elevator. I'm gonna get my revenge on you, Boulder, one day. That's what Chris is thinking right now. You do need to be careful because as we step out of this room, there's going to be a hunter waiting here for us in Chris's campaign. So we do need to be careful. So what we're going to do is dodge him. The hunter will scream, and while the hunter is screaming it can't attack you, so you can easily cross this area without any problems. See? I managed to leave the room even before the hunter finished his scream. However, if you really feel like it, you can use a magnum bullet to finish it off. But again, it's really pointless because you won't be encountering that hunter ever again. So we got the cylinder and now we're going to combine it with the shaft. Oh, just you wait, you Boulder. I'll see you in Resident Evil 5, you bastard. Again, that's what Chris is thinking. But we're going to combine the cylinder with the shaft, and then we need to press the buttons in a specific order in order to reach the level below. So the combination of numbers that we need to press is 4, 2, 3, 1. So make sure you hit those buttons and you'll be good to go. So 4, 2, 3, and lastly 1. That's the magic combination. And now let's head down. Barry unfortunately won't be joining us here, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Okay, and I'm actually heading towards the wrong side. We need to go through here. And you need to be on your toes for this section. Not that it's hard, but did you hear that door? That's Lisa, there she is. You want to walk to this side first to trigger her appearance. You see, she will always appear blocking your path, so that's why we want to trigger her to appear in that scenario, in that area, because then we can easily go around and move to this side. You see, the game actually teleports Lisa to the side that you're going through if you don't check first. So you'll end up getting hit by her if you don't check, and that's why it's important to make sure that she appears on that side so that we can go around and easily move to this room without her hitting us. So we're playing a little bit of a cat and mouse sort of game. Now just push this crate into the elevator and we're going to press the button. Make sure you go up and pick up the flash bomb. If you are playing on normal or the easier difficulties, then there's, instead of the handgun magazine that you saw on top of there will be magnum bullets, which obviously is a much better reward. In the hard difficulty, the game thinks it's better to just give you a few handgun bullets, which is again, you know, thanks but no thanks. And now once again we're going to go down these steps just to trigger the appearance of Lisa, and now we're going to go around and pick up the broken flamethrower so that we can get out of here. And the caves are almost cleared at this point. Really all that we need to do is get the broken flamethrower, pick up the stone object, and then head back to the mansion. We do need to backtrack here a little bit. And after that we can head towards the laboratory. So just drag the crate all the way up here, and now we're going to drag it into the center. Oh, I wonder what Barry's doing right now. Probably still playing with the dogs outside. And there we go. And now we can jump down there and pick up the broken flamethrower. And we're almost in the clear here. Almost, but not quite yet. Let's go back up, and we need to go back into the area where Lisa is. Can't avoid it. Oh goodness, why do I keep doing this? Moving to the wrong side, come on. Get it together. There we go. So once again we're going to use the same strategy. We're going to make Lisa appear through this side right here and wait for her to start following Chris. And now we can easily go around. Don't forget to pull this lever right here so that you can place the broken flamethrower. And now we can calmly go around, nothing to worry here, and place the broken flamethrower here, and we are in the clear. And as we step through this door, we are now inside Lisa's crypt. Seriously, she lit all these candles, it's crazy. Be careful though, because there are two snakes that follow you through here, but as soon as you get out of the water you're fine. And very important, don't forget to pick up the jewelry box. And now as we open the jewelry box we find the stone object, or the stone ring. And if we combine the stone ring with the metal object that we obtained in the office in the mansion, we get the stone and metal object, which we need in order to access the lab. So I'm going to show you just that you need to combine these two parts right now. I'm going to combine them later, but I could combine them later, but might as well get it done now. So there we go, stone ring combined with the metal object, and there we go. The reason why I'm doing this is because I remember a comment in the video section, I think it was in my Jill walkthrough, where one of you didn't quite know what to do with the stone ring, and you didn't know that you had to combine it with the metal object. So now you know, if you're watching this part, of course. So now we're just going to step out of here and head back to the mansion. Yes, like I said, we do need to do a little bit of backtracking, but guess who we're going to see one last time? There he is. There's the man, Fred. And Fred, I'm going to give you a little warning, dude. You should get out of here because the mansion's going to explode a little bit later. So if you want to leave, dude, get out of here. You're my friend, so that's why I'm warning you. And now there are two zombies here, but this zombie, again, I guess he doesn't want to move after me. He must be Fred's cousin Ted, because again, he's just a friendly zombie who doesn't do anything. The other zombie, however, was coming after me with the intent of hurting me, but Ted over there was fine. Ted and Fred, cousins and friendly zombies. You can trust me, they won't hurt you. Actually, they might just be friendly just in my game. I don't know if they'll be friendly in your game, but I'm sure they will be. So, as we step out of this room, very important so that you don't have to come back here, make sure you pick up the stone and metal object right here. We need this crest to access the lab once again. And now let's get out of here. And this is actually going to conclude this episode, my friends. We cleared the caves, and in the next part we're going to have a final confrontation with Lisa, and that's going to be interesting, no doubt. And again, we're going to be reunited with an old friend, but that's for the next part. As always, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my guide. I hope you're finding it useful. Thank you for all the likes and comments. I really appreciate them, and it just makes me happy to discuss Resident Evil with all of you. And I'll see you all later for the next part. Take care, my friends.